So one thing I wanted to do today is take a look a bit behind the scenes type thing. Because hey, we know when it comes to podcasts and stuff like that, there's a lot of stuff what goes behind the scenes.
There's a lot of work goes in, a lot of research and things like that.
Absolutely. And James, obviously, I know you're just starting out and stuff like that, but I imagine you've learned quite a lot in the short time.
Definitely, mate. It's quite a massive learning curve. Like I say, every single day you learn something new. So it's quite eye-opening to think that the amount of obviously, like Amy says, the amount of research you have to put into every video, the amount of effort you have to put into just getting things sorted. I mean, over the past couple of weeks, I've been racking my head trying to get video ideas out and what have you. Then you've helped me massively with two things that I'm doing this week on my channel, which I massively appreciate. So it's like I say, every single day is a new day, and every single day is a learning curve.
Absolutely. So we were talking all about that and stuff like that. And like I said, we're just going to peel back the curtains, talk about what goes into it, some of the things which are highlights for us and stuff like that. And let's just obviously just have a general chit chat, man. Let's knock it all out of the park. Intro, roll it. I mean, Jim, let's obviously start with you actually and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, obviously I put obviously two guests towards you and stuff like that. You got them booked, and I know you're really buzzing about it, aren't you?
I'm absolutely buzzing, mate. I can't wait. Honestly, it's like it feels a bit surreal if I'm honest, because for folk that are watching that don't know, my channel's called Wrestle Wellbeing, and we talk about mental health in the wrestling industry, not only for wrestlers themselves, but also it's for the mental health of fans, the backstage crew, the commentators, blah blah blah, and what have you. And the fact that I've been able to get two wrestlers on, obviously with it's basically all down to you, mate, setting me up those two interviews. It's just a bit mental, to be honest, because I just thought that they'd be like, no, I'm not bothered, this, that, and other. Because I've heard quite a lot of things from yourself where you've tried to book someone and they've been quite dismissive or quite just to put it in Haney's words, quite a dick. So it's quite lovely actually to be able to talk to people that are obviously absolutely crushing it in the wrestling industry, that are willing to come on such a small channel such as myself, my own.
Yeah, I mean, Haney, you've obviously been a part of this show for quite a while, stuff like that. I mean, you obviously are a big influence as well. What's that like to hear?
No, that is awesome. And what was it? Your channel, as I say, your channel takes up a sort of important sort of in topic. So it'll be great to like get wrestlers on and have them talk about things as well. If that's the sort of direction you're going to go with it. But yeah, so it's amazing news that you've managed to pick them up. And remember, don't be scared to ask. Even if you do get that like that dick response back, what was it? At the end of the day, what's for you won't go by you. So, what was it? Go out there and what was it? It'll be amazing. Don't ever think. But we'll all be here to support if we can.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely, and stuff like that. I mean, let's obviously start, James. You know what I mean? Like, how did you obviously put the whole idea together? You can't mention like me. I'm not absolutely bothered, but yeah, talk about obviously how the whole idea came about.
Well, I've for my first couple of the majority of the videos that I've done so far have been rewrites of past WWE matches, which I've had you guys from in the Magic Wrestling chat give me ideas as to what matches to rewrite. I'm actually in the process of going to be recording the next one either this weekend or during the week, and then I was throwing ideas around with yourself, Liam, and also with my wife, saying, "Oh, I'm not really sure what type of video to do next." And then I had the idea of, what if I do a series where I do a couple of interviews, but then I also do like a video just describing to people that may not understand what it's like for obviously wrestlers and all the backstage crew and what have you and the fans as to why mental health is a really big thing in wrestling, something like wrestling, even though you look at something like wrestling, you think, oh, mental health's not really going to be like contributed to wrestling because these wrestlers are like larger than life. They seem a bit inhuman sort of thing. So I just thought that it might help. Obviously, as we can see online near enough every day, quite a lot of people online in the wrestling community seem to think it's okay just to absolutely vilify wrestlers, slander them, call them out, this, that, other, and not actually think that's still a human being. It's still a human being. It's still a person. And what I'm saying might really badly affect their mental health, might really badly affect what they're going through, sort of thing. So just thought that the series itself might just open eyes up to mental health, because at the end of the day, we all have problems mental health wise and what have you. So if it can help, if it can help one person, then I know that I'm doing something good.
Well, and it's really what was it, sort of symbolic that you mentioned that, because only yesterday was the anniversary of what was it, Hana, who was a Japanese wrestler who was absolutely fantastic, but she committed suicide because of what was it, really nasty things that were being said about her online, you know, and what was it, stuff like that is, you know. It's all right to give your opinion on a wrestler and things like that, and what it's like football, but don't make it personal, you know.
No.
Don't make it personal, because you don't know the impact. You know, it's not what was it, and this is a hard one, right? What was it for? What was it? And it's not even realistic to wrestling. Do you remember Rebecca Adlington, the swimmer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So she. Obviously, she was an Olympian, two-time Olympian, you know, won gold medals and things like that. But she had major mental health issues because of a comedian called what was it, Frankie Boyle? I don't know if you know who Frankie, right?
Yeah.
So basically, he made a remark about her nose. You know, she had an unfair advantage because she's a nose like a dolphin. You know. That's all right for shits and giggles, you know, but it had a huge effect on the women's. What was if you actually look at the interviews into sort of mental health, and she's always was always very conscious about how her nose looked and things like that, you know. And I think she's had surgery since, but to me, she shouldn't have to have done that, you know, to feel accepted, you know. So it's not just wrestling as well; it's other things. May I make another suggestion for you, maybe down the line? And what was it? One that's probably not looked at, because they're the invisible fan. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of wrestling fans out there that won't actually go to wrestling shows because they've got social anxiety. Now, they love wrestling just as much as you and I, you know. But the thought of actually going to a wrestling show brings so much trauma to them, you know, or even any sort of event, you know. But that sort of, like, as you know, James, mental health covers all aspects of things, you know. So there's great scope to explore on that, you know, as well. So yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So let's talk about obviously your first two guests as well, Aubrey. I mean, the first one is obviously someone who Drew Ashland. Do you know what I mean? First ever transgender wrestler in the UK. I mean, that's a big deal, because I can imagine. And we spoke about the online thing. I imagine she had some incredible. I'm not incredible. That's what I'm looking for, but abuse. You know what I mean, to the highest degree.
Definitely, mate. It's I'm really, really glad that I managed to get Drew to come on the show. It's something I'm really looking forward to, just because obviously, as we know, with society currently, there's a lot of abuse towards trans people in sport itself. So I think that obviously giving the platform to someone like Drew, who you've spoke at lengths, who was really nice, a really funny person, and just someone that is like really down to earth, can speak to someone like that and give her the platform for her to tell people her story, it might actually make people see that she's still a person. She's still trying to do what's best for her. End of the day, this is her life. She has the choice to do what she wants with her life and her body and what have you. And at the end of the day, people need to respect that, and people need to see what mental anguish she's gone through in her life and see that she's not doing whatever she's doing just for attention. She's not doing it for sympathy or anything like that. End of the day, this is a genuine person that just wants to live her life the way that she wants to live her life.
100%. And I remember you watching that obviously live when I obviously did the interview and stuff like that. And I said it to you after the show, saying that the interactions we had, you know what I mean, one of the nicest people you could ever ask for.
No, definitely. You know, and that what was it? And you're using the key word there, but was it a person? You know, because that's what she is, a person. You know, and what was it? It's horrible to think, you know, that they feel excluded from at times because of what's going on in their life. You know, they work just as hard to be there. You know, that a lot of the time as well, like most of the time, I believe, or they're accepted by their peers. It's idiot people and like fans online and things like that. You know, it's that's not what wrestling's about. Wrestling is a masquerade. It's theatre, and if you go back to theatre hundreds and hundreds of years, but was it you've always had but was it different people playing different roles all through theatre. Not that I'm trying to sort of minimalize it like that, you know, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter and shouldn't matter to anybody what that person is in their personal life. You know, just respect them and enjoy what they're out there doing for you to entertain you. You know, there's no need for it.
Absolutely.
But was it? So sorry, I'm going to go into another story now. The only time I have ever been embarrassed to be a wrestling fan was at a WWE Raw taping in Glasgow when what was it? Well, first off, what was it? Some of the stuff that was been thrown at Nia, but what was it? Darren Young was it? What was it? Darren Young was it the? What was it? That show, what was it? You know, and the abuse he was getting from the fans. You know, unfortunately, there was a few of us that didn't accept it, and that person was soon gone. But some of the vile, horrible stuff that was been said about him, you know, was absolutely uncalled for. And it's what was it? And it's a time. It's the one time in wrestling I've been embarrassed to be a wrestling fan that there was people out there doing that. You know. And they just shook it off, you know. But you don't know what sort of effect has on them when they go backstage, you know.
No, exactly, absolutely, and stuff like that. And now, James, I'm not sure if you've announced the other guest yet, or do you want to like spoiler alert here? Or
I haven't announced it yet, but I can do so. The next interview I'm going to be having, I'm not sure if I should use his real name or his ring name.
I'd use his ring name.
His ring name. So, trying to get his.
Come on, I know this one because I helped you out here.
I know you know it because you helped me out, you pillar. But we're getting up. Wait, I do know him. I do know it. Aaron Jacobs.
There we go.
So Aaron Jacobs is going to be coming on my channel next week. Literally, I'm going to be doing that video just after the Drew video, which I'm really excited about as well. Obviously, a big guy. He's quite a big figure in the company that he's with. He's got a big following on social media as well. So I'm really hoping that it's a good video.
Yeah, and one thing I remember saying to you that he's a big advocate for mental health as well, and I think you saw the video I sent you.
Yeah, mate. I did. He even said when I was speaking to him to set up the meeting that he's a big advocate for mental health as well. I have found that a couple of people that I've spoke to about coming on my channel, that they're all big advocates for mental health as well, which is really nice to see. Another guest that I'm trying to get on that I'm really close to booking is Callum Crowe, which I know that yourself, Liam, you all wanted to get on your channel. So I'm hoping that once I do the video with Callum, I can sort of send him your way.
Absolutely. But the thing is, this show alone, managed to do so much for Jim in such a short time. I mean, I'm proud of it. I'm pretty sure you are as well.
Yep, definitely. It's awesome. It really is. It's great. It's great to see like it expand in such an important way as well.
Yeah, and it's crazy for me when I think about it because I never thought. I mean, this is coming up 3 years. I've been doing this show. That one, I'd be able to talk like Jim, obviously like yourself, and people like you get to speak to in interviews and stuff like that. It's just for me where I am now. It's absolutely, just crazy. How far we've come in. And like I said, you've been obviously part of it since obviously the beginning as well.
Yep, I've been. What was it? Trying to stay out of trouble since the beginning.
If anything, James, I mean, because obviously you found out I obviously like wrestling. It's kind of, I would say it's brought us closer as well.
Oh, definitely, mate. It's obviously we were quite close when we first met, obviously through football, and it is football, not soccer. Obviously met through football and what have you, been like sort of quite close mates with that. And obviously we both were working full time. We kind of lost touch, and then I think we've said in previous videos, I think you posted something about wrestling. I'm not sure if it was WWE or if it was like an indie show, and then I messaged you saying I never knew that you were into wrestling, and then we kind of got back to being friends, and then like you say, we've got quite a lot closer, quite a lot stronger friendship wise, and then obviously you're helping me a lot. Like everything, like 90% of my channel is basically you helping me out.
But the thing is now, I mean, like I even said to you privately, and I don't mind saying this and stuff like that. Now, obviously, I've helped you out kick off. I'm obviously just going to take a step back. Obviously, I will offer advice. Aiden's obviously got some good advice as well, but obviously now I want you to basically find your own style because one thing I always remember, and it was an interview I did with James Musselby, and he were on about photography, but you can put it into like any perspective you want. It says when it comes to style, you will always find your own style. Do you know what I mean? And it'll adapt over time. And I've obviously found my own style. Aiden, I don't know what you think when it comes to your style.
Yeah, I'm a bit. Yeah, I'm a bit sort of like off the cuff. What was it? A heart and sleeve sort of style, aren't I?
Yeah.
And I'm unapologetic for that. What was it? People want you to be a certain way, and I get you've got to be respectful in that as well. But sometimes it's the fact that I'm a big believer in saying what you think rather than try to pander to a lot to a lot of the narrative that sort of goes out there, and a lot of the people that push this sort of good values, really aren't, because they're the first to jump down or criticise or demean, so when you're not agreeing with their opinions, and they're the sort of worst kind, the ones that don't necessarily respect your opinion just because it doesn't fall in line with theirs.
100%, 100% stuff like that. I mean, Aiden, I'm trying to think where we actually, met. I cannot even remember.
What was it? I believe it was on a community chat, and I may have called you an arsehole. I don't know.
He calls me an arsehole all the time. I rang him up yesterday on way home from work. Says you're an arsehole.
No, it was actually on. Obviously, you started appearing on the podcast on the another network. What was it called? So that was how I sort of got to know you, and obviously started interacting with you and interacting with what you were doing, because I really liked to sort of push you in the direction you were going, particularly when you said you were wanting to sort of start focusing on doing the interviews of wrestlers. Some people, think have a sort of this narrative that anything that's not on television isn't really wrestling, so it's not worth paying attention to.
Just mention the names. I don't give a shit if he watches this. Just mention who you're on about.
What was it called? It's all very interesting because at the end of the day, wrestling's bigger than the big companies. You yourself. You've formed a friendship through football.
Mhm.
That's what the UK is like. When you're at something, you make like whether you became friends, whether you become friends for what was it life, or you become friends for the duration of the show, where you basically the guy next to you and you're just sat there talking about wrestling all the way through the show. You know, that's what wrestling does. You know, that's what
Mhm.
wrestling's all about. What was it to me? You know, what was it called? And what was it? That's that was why I really enjoyed what you were saying, because you were getting to see these wrestlers that we were seeing, Liam. You know, that we got to see in the UK, that nobody's paying it, like nobody in the, like I don't mean this in the nobody's paying attention to, because they're not on the big television. You know, and they're not the big wrestlers. They're not on the television. What was it called? But what they don't realise is these guys are going to be, and these guys are going to be massive. You know,
Mhm.
every single one that you interview is going to be big. You know, so what was it called? And what was it? The ones that whether it be directly themselves or the way they help each other out. Obviously, some people are at the end of their wrestling journey because they're getting older and they've been around for was it a couple of decades. But the footprint and the wrestlers that are coming through their schools, you know, you've talked about the wrestling schools in the UK, you know,
Mhm.
that was as well how important they are, and what was it, how much what was it, talent is in the United Kingdom. You know, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Our women are absolutely destroying everybody else. You know, hopefully, well, not to forget, we've got great referees over here as well. You know,
Mhm.
hopefully they get an opportunity down the line to transition into the sort of big leagues as well, because um, you know, you want people to follow their dreams. You know, what was it? And go where they want to go. So hopefully, every single one of them gets that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, James, obviously, I know you've obviously started to learn, obviously, the UK and stuff like that. I mean, pretty sure you're always watching Summit.
Oh, definitely. I've been watching a load of Drew's matches. To be fair, for like the last 6 hours, I've had SmackDown on downstairs, and whilst I've had SmackDown on, just got my tablet on, just watching Drew's matches, and then I'm on about watching a couple of Aaron's matches as well, if I can get those on, and then I'm going to do the same with Callum as well, just to see obviously the contrasting style of their wrestling sort of thing. But it's absolutely unbelievable. I've also been getting in touch with a referee actually to come on the channel. Is told me that he's having a couple of personal family problems at the moment. So, but he says that once he's okay, he's going to come on. It's Steve Grimshaw. Not sure if you know who that is, but
I do, yeah.
I've watched a couple of his work as well, and it's just unbelievable what he can do. I've also been in touch with a lady called Nikki Hayes, who was a announcer as well. Want to get her side of it as well. Just been getting in touch with a lot of people.
I'm not quite sure who she's actually. I know she's a ring announcer, but I can't think who she's ring announcing for. I'd have to check that one out. I'm not too sure.
It's not on a profile.
Yeah, it normally
yeah.
does. When it comes to ring announcing, it's probably actually not. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But yeah, she's also a backstage interviewer, so it's going to be like a best of both worlds as well. So obviously in ring and then outside the ring sort of talks. Then I've been in touch with someone called Zoe who does wrestling gear. She actually designed the gear for our very good friend Hannah Taylor.
There you go. Do you know what? I cannot wait for that one. I know that she's going to be reaching out, coming on that show, and like I said, that is one story. I mean, we spoke about it so much that I can't wait to obviously just speak to her, because I'm not going to mention, because we spoke briefly this week, and I'm not going to mention it on air, but some of the things she's got to deal with now. I do feel kind of, sorry for her. Do you know what I mean? I'll tell you after the show. I don't want to air it, but I can't remember if I told you or not.
Yeah, you did. You know, and what was it? I know, and all I'll say is to anybody that's doing that, fuck you.
Like I said, James, I'll tell you after the show and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I don't want to obviously air it and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? But the thing is, I mean, like going back to what Haney said when it comes to the interview stuff like that, that was kind of the reason I obviously like pulled away from the network we used to be on, because it don't matter to me whether the person's been wrestling 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 year, 10 year, whatever. They've still got a story. Do you know what I mean? I remember I did an interview and stuff like that, and one person said to us saying, "Oh, he's only been doing it so long, you're not be able to get like a decent conversation." And I probably had like a 45-minute absolute decent conversation. So I am grateful for the network which we were on before, but in it there was a lot of frustration. Let's be honest.
Yes, what was it? There's definitely more freedom to speak your mind. Yeah, but there was also obviously other challenges with that as well. Like especially what was it? Towing a certain line and about trying to tow a certain line about a certain company. What was it called? What was it? I'm not for that, at all. I'm not an ass kisser.
Yeah. So, and James, obviously, I know you've been on the show a few times. Like I said, you've been on obviously like preview shows, been on rewrites and everything. For you, and I want you to be honest here. I don't want you to lie. What do you think when you're on the Magic of Wrestling?
I love it, mate. I love just being on the show with you two, being able to talk shit about wrestling. Obviously, hearing telling Young Bucks and Kenny Omega to go fuck the sun. So that's always a key highlight to my midday. And I say it's absolutely hilarious. I love it coming on here with him because he's just like pure blunt and does not give a shit about what folk think about him. He's just fucking brilliant. I think he's absolutely mint and I love it. And then obviously being able to talk to you as well, Liam, it's always great because, like I said earlier, I'm all every single day I'm always learning. I'm always learning how to better myself for my own channel as well. So I'm always watching obviously how you conduct yourself. I'm always watching your videos, making sure that I'm learning different ways to just like obviously do interviews with people on my channel sort of thing. So yeah, I absolutely love coming on here.
Yeah, I mean, and do you actually know the turning point for the interviews where I went down the route of like a laid back one?
I think was it a certain British wrestler?
No, it was a certain duo.
All right.
If I say Axel the Clown and Freaky Felicia.
All right.
Do you not remember that one?
I'm trying to remember.
I take it he doesn't.
Look, I said it, and it's
Freaky Felicia, the one with the face paint and stuff.
The face paint and stuff. I can't remember. I've had a lot of cake today.
You've had cake. Oh yeah, you've had cake, can't you? I forgot about
that. So, do you want to elaborate?
I'll send it you after the show.
Yes, I've got a terrible memory with things that I've only. Yeah, what was it? Maybe that was at a time when I was done at a time when I was quite volatile with the other crew.
Yeah, well, anyway, to give people a little context listening, so Axel the Clown and Freaky Felicia interview, it was one of the first interviews I did, which had like one, it had two guests, and two, it went off the rails, and it wasn't a bad thing.
I remember now because they were in character.
Yes, there was.
Yeah, I remember it. Yes.
It was one of the most funniest things I've ever done, and do you know something? That was kind of like the turning point for me to go down the route of, like laid back, like we're doing now. Yeah. James, nuts. If you've not seen it, go check it out. It's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah,
definitely will, mate.
It's brilliant, and their attire and that is fantastic as well. It's like full on sort of like kayfabe, pretty cool.
Why does it look like James has just seen a ghost?
No, I've got my dog laid down in a room in here, and she's just decided to malfunction and just nearly ran into the bastard wall. So I'm just like, what the hell are you doing, you pillock?
Dogs are awesome.
Yeah, they are.
Honestly, I love her so much. I keep saying to wife I want another one, but she won't let me. So I keep like sending it. Because I'm wanting a Rottweiler. And I keep sending her videos and TikToks of Rottweilers and everything like that. She's like, stop sending me videos of Rottweilers. I'm like, well, let me get one and then I'll go.
Yeah, you need, if you get a Rottweiler, please don't get one with their tail talk because they've got the most awesome tail, right? Yeah. And what was it called? And I think I was in my 30s before I seen a Rottweiler because I think it's banned now you can still people still do it. But
I hate seeing dogs with cocktails because it just makes me think you are the worst person in the
Yeah.
world. You
Yeah.
cretin.
it's like way to take it. Like, that's a smile. That's their emotion right there. You know. Who cares if it's sore and it whacks you in the face when they're excited? You know.
This is the Rottweiler that I'm wanting to get. I don't know if you can see it properly.
No, you'd have to send it us. It keeps like
It's called Basil.
Oh, my first dog was second dog was called Basil. We had growing up. We had what was it called? What was it? It was a little rescued Pomeranian called Nita. She'd lost her teeth. Her back legs had gone. She was like rescued show dog, you know, because you get to a certain age and you know what people are like, just arseholes. But and then we had all I can. But Basil was an absolute mongrel.
I've just sent Liam the photo of Basil. If you can try and share it, Liam, on the screen so Haney can see it. Honestly,
yeah,
I'll have to send it him.
It looks absolutely beautiful, and I really, really want to foster him, even if we're just fostering for a while, because I just absolutely love him to bits.
Dear. So let's obviously stick with some interviews. Because I know obviously the one I know which you always like is Rev Katie.
Yeah, just the personality, you know, and what was it, and just the openness of like how much love she's got for what she's doing. You know, it's almost sickening how happy she is.
Yeah, when I did that interview, I don't think I've ever laughed so much because everyone.
I don't mean that in a bad way. Please never change. You know, if she's tuned in, please never change. I think it's awesome. You know, I'm a miserable get. You know, and I don't get that myself. I don't get it. I get it, but I'm miserable.
Yeah, I remember doing that interview.
You're Scottish.
Yeah, I'm born with it, aren't I?
But yeah, I mean, I remember when I did that interview, everyone who obviously I spoke to outside the thing, everyone says, you know, you've got Katie, you know, stuff like that. And just her personality, she's one of those where 10 minutes, you're just smiling because her personality just shines through. Incredible.
Yeah, it's you know, people like that just brighten your day when you see them talking about like everything they do, they absolutely adore and love it. You know, so I'm sure there's stuff that goes on that frustrates her, but just their absolute positivity about the sort of community she's involved in. You know.
Yeah, one of the stories she told me, and I remember it's on the channel. If people want to go check it out. Was she was coming back from ICW, which is obviously the Scotland area, and she was 3 minutes away from her training. She fell asleep. Then she fell asleep, and I think she woke up in Penrith, which I ain't got a clue where that is.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's true. By the way, she literally, and I just remember because somebody put on a comment saying, ask her about Penrith. And I'm like, what the fuck is Penrith? And then she told me the story and I'm like, oh my God, what the hell? But, you know, it's incredible. Like I said, that's on the channel. People want to go watch it and stuff. So, James, you said you obviously watched some interviews. Have you watched many of my stuff?
I think I've watched all your videos, if I'm honest, mate.
What, all interviews?
Basically, every single video that you put up. I've just literally... So the entire time that I've been off work for the last couple of weeks because of my thumb, every single day I've just been binge watching all your videos. So it's just been like one after other, after other, after other, after other. It's really weird as well because a couple of your videos, like a couple of times you've put like shorts videos on your channel, haven't you? So one time you'll be talking to Drew, then you'll next be talking to Evan, then you'll be talking to someone else, then you'll be talking to Hannah, then you'll be talking to someone else, then someone else. I'm just like, and then it goes back to Drew. I'm just like, I'm getting mixed up here, so I just want to live videos and watch live videos instead.
And what is any interviews you watch where you go, they're quite good? What's some of your favourites?
Drew, definitely, that's my favourite with Drew. It's definitely that one.
Are you just saying that though because she's coming on your show, or just in general?
I'm not. I might be, but I'm also not. But yeah, it was just a really nice interview to watch. Obviously, like just being really open about obviously what she's gone through in her life and what have you. And it was just really nice to see that she, because obviously when someone introduces you to someone else and they go, "Oh yeah, they're a really nice person," you sort of like take it with a pinch of salt, because obviously you kind of like have to see it for yourself. But obviously, when I saw the video of Drew on your channel, I was like, "Oh, she is genuinely a really lovely, nice person." So yeah, it was just really nice to see that. Obviously, I need to do a bit of research for the interview for next week as well.
I'm sure you'll smash it and stuff like that. Eddie, will you stop sending me pictures?
Naughty pictures.
No, not them. I mean, Eddie, let's obviously stick with the Scotland stuff in it, because obviously I did expand my horizon with some Scottish wrestlers.
Yeah, there's a few, isn't there? What was it called? Obviously, what was it? We are what was it? We are sort of the top tier. I've got the top tier wrestlers up here. I'm a bit of competition going on here. No, I'm joking. Ironically, what was it? One of the I refer to him as Scottish, even though he's not. He's from Preston. What was it? And what was it? It was such a great, because he's always up here, and what was it? He wrestles nearly all the time. What was it? And he appeared on SmackDown recently, and his name was Daz Black.
Oh, okay. That one got you. That one actually stumped you. I remember when I announced that.
Yeah. What was it? That lad's going to be massive. He's just got everything. He's got the look, and he just looks $1 million, and he's got the ability to go with it. Not to take anything away with anybody else that we're talking about, because they all do, But because that. What was it? Being a bit biased, and you see him at your shows, quite frequently, and he's your champion and things like that. What was it called? Yeah. That was, and he was trained up in Scotland partly, So, what was it? I'm going to go with that, and then we've obviously got what was it? This. It's so great. Obviously, you've had a few from the what was it? What was it? The Girders sort of. What was it, Jim? So. So many great sort of talent in Scotland.
I've got the list here now. So yeah, you're on about Prince Levi or Levy, because you keep telling me that, and I keep getting shouted at for it.
Yeah, he was at Levy was at the last BCW show.
Yeah, is it the next wrestling? Is it the next wrestling in Newcastle show?
Yeah, you can tell. You can tell Stefan Aaron. I've decided that it's going to be Levi from now on. So. Yes.
I'm just looking through now. Shazza McKenzie, Mark Mathers, Phil Stamper, Psycho Boy Fodder, Evan Jacobs is there, Iceman, Wing Commander Nash, Rev Kate is there.
Do you want to talk about your worst interview?
Do you want to know about it?
Yeah, well, it's up to you if you want to tell that story.
Should we name him or should we not? Do it. Any, sorry, I was waiting for any response there.
What does James think? He was like, do it.
Do it.
Yeah, why not? So
if you feel uncomfortable doing it, then don't.
Name and shame him, Wakey. Fuck him.
Yeah, so after all 90 interviews I've done, there's only ever been one which wasn't the best. And it was somebody who goes by the name of Danny Birch. Former NXT, any correct me if I'm wrong there?
Yep.
Now, it was kind of good because we promoted it pretty well. It was really, really good and stuff like that. But if you go watch it, the guy was just a fucking asshole. He just come across as a very, very abrupt. I can't even describe it because he was that bad.
Yeah, it was like you were interviewing somebody that had diarrhea.
Yeah, I think that's probably a fair one.
No, what was it? What was it? Yeah.
In fact, I'll see if I can find it. I'll send it.
yeah, the presumption of like like you ain't no John Cena or Chris Jericho. You know, you're not like you're a wrestler. You're a wrestler. You know, you made a bit of a name for yourself, but you know,
I think we must have
remember.
caught him. I think we must have caught him at a bad time because he just wasn't the fucking best, was it?
No, he maybe did have diarrhea.
Probably. I'm trying to find the fucking
Sometimes,
list.
you know, it is unfair because sometimes, you know, like you say, like when you meet people, you get an impression. One of the worst encounters, and this is going to shock some people because when I tell people this, I go, well, not him, because every time I've ever met him, he was bang on, he was great. Mysterio.
Really?
And
And if you
he
could
was
see
the
quick
biggest
now, but
arsehole that day. You know, I think you cut that out. I said he was an arsehole.
no, it just kind of went glitched a
No,
little bit.
he
That's what I
wasn't
was
very
saying.
good. Yeah, no, he wasn't very respectful to people there, you know. But he might have been having a bad day. It was at the end of a long tour, you know. So, because people say, "Oh, Rue's great," you know. He just wasn't very pleasant that day, you know.
No. Right, I'm going to send it to you, James, so you can have a quick listen. This was the worst one we ever did. And I think this was this like third interview in.
Yeah.
I think it was something along the lines. Right, I've sent it to you, pal.
How about it, mate?
That was
Let have a quick watch while we're talking.
Yeah.
It was bad though, and you're trying your best to try and bring it back and stuff like that, but it's just like, oh no, you know when you just know it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really difficult when you've obviously got them sort of. Oh my Jesus! It looks like I took an extra out of bloody EastEnders. To be fair.
Yeah, it wasn't the best. I'll let you watch the whole thing and then let you talk about it, but just really bad all the way around.
You can just tell by the look of him. He's got a slight arrogance about him that he thinks he's a bit above what he's doing, that he doesn't really want to be there, sort of thing. And it's like you say, it's a bit difficult for you to obviously be as professional as you can be, obviously, to make the video good when you've got someone that is just, in his words, a prick.
Yeah, I think the best way to describe it, and I don't know if this is a phrase down your way, but he basically goes about like his shit doesn't stink.
No, yeah, that's pretty much an accurate description. So, James, I will obviously pre-warn you. You may get guests like that. You may not. I'm just saying. It's just the way things go.
I'm quite chill with stuff like that, to be fair, because like I said, I'm not expecting people to come on the channel because at the end of the day, it's not something that a lot of people talk about. But if people do want to come on, I'll be as respectful as I can, and I am going to put it out there to people before we go on that if at any point they feel as though it's not for them, they don't want to do it, then just let me know, and I will obviously stop recording and just delete the footage, sort of thing. So, like I said, I'm not going to pressure anybody to do it, and if at any point it gets a bit too much for them, then it's entirely up to them.
Yeah. So to turn that 180, there is some big points obviously to come out of this whole show. Prime example is obviously helping James. I do want to put a special mention out to Warren Breezy as well. Obviously, he's a good friend of mine. He does obviously help me out by putting good words in the interview. Stevie Aaron's another one. So it kind of leads back to what we talked about at the start, Annie. Do you know, building that community?
Yes, it does. You know, when you build that community, that's
the UK tournament, like the first UK
tournament.
So
Sorry,
the guy on the video that you were interviewing, were he from down south? By chance?
I've no idea. I can't remember. It was like interview 8, I think it was, or something along the lines. We're on 90 now. Come on.
I think he's definitely from down south because that's how you can tell he's a fucking prick.
Okay. Sorry, Annie, what were we saying?
Sorry, you got me intrigued now. He's from, oh God, where is he from now? London.
There you go. Londoner,
Okay.
prick.
There you go.
Say no more. End of discussion. Dear, but yeah, Haney, I forgot. I've even lost what we're talking about now. I don't even know what day it is.
We're talking about how shit the Young Bucks were. Sorry, no,
No.
that was another conversation.
He's gonna get it in. He's gonna get at least one in a video.
Right. You were talking about the last 18 months, and you were talking about how you've what was it? You got to know Stefan, and building that community. Sorry, I should stop saying that. I've never spoken to the man, so I shouldn't be disrespecting him, unless what was it thing? But he did tell me off through you. So
Yeah, he
yeah.
did.
No,
But-
Stephen. Was it Stephen Aaron? What was it? Obviously,
Stevie.
I think Steve. Is it with a P or an H?
Stevie.
Steve. No, Stevie Aaron. Stevie Aaron. I mean, you speak so highly of him. You know what was it? And how much he's helped you out. You know, so that's what's awesome. That's what's awesome about the wrestling community. You know, and what was it called? Guys like that are what the industry needs. You know, particularly with what they're trying to do and trying to achieve. You know, what was it, and their passion for it, and the love they've got for the wrestlers, and the unselfishness they've got for wrestlers as well. You know, because let's face it, but was it like some of these guys might get bookings and they might get a better booking, you know, and that's no disrespect to smaller promotions. That's just the way that it goes, you know. What was it called? So they're always looking out for each other, you know, and what was it, doing each other favors, and what was it called? Like, just absolutely awesome. That's what's awesome about the wrestling community. It's one big community helping each other out. There's no animosity among many of the promotions. I don't think, from my understanding, you know, they all get on. Like, I'll give you an example. What was it called? It was it was a wrestling promotion up in Dundee that brought Roddy Piper over. You know, brought Bret. He's brought Bret Hart over. He's brought what was it, Kevin Nash over. You know, Jake the Snake, Ted DiBiase, China, and what was it? The reason they appeared in all the other cities because he was sharing that visit. He obviously, like, you know, was getting a cut of whatever they made, you know. But you know, I've got this wrestler's coming over, but was it? He's got a date free. Does anybody want him to appear at one of the shows? You know, that's how helpful the wrestling community is. There's no sort of try to get one-upmanship on each other. You know, so respectful. It's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, James, obviously, like I said, you're just starting out with in the community and stuff like that. I mean, like I said, what's it like from you so far?
It's quite eye opening, to be fair. I recently put up an Instagram channel profile for the YouTube channel, sort of thing, just because obviously then I can communicate between myself and potential guests for the interviews and what have you. And it's just been quite enlightening, really, because I've got the first thing I did when I made it is I actually went through your following list of people that were following you and you were following them, sort of thing. I thought, so I looked on the list. I was like, oh, that's a wrestler, couple of content creators, and I'll follow them, this, that, and other. Straight away, they follow me back. And then next thing I know, I think I got about 50 people following me that I'd not followed that were following these other people. So it seemed as though, like, my profile would come up on their mutual friends list, sort of thing, if you want to call it that. And then I've obviously followed these people back, and then getting in touch with them, just ask them if they fancy doing it. But had quite a lot of replies, which I really do appreciate. For example, Callum Crowe and Renaissance wrestling channel, and then I've had a couple of people that have seen the message, but then they've not replied. So then I'm just like, right, I'll focus on the people that have replied back, and the people that haven't replied back, they might do it in the future. If they do, fair enough. If they don't, it's not a real big loss, because I know that for both of us, we kind of just do this sort of thing just because we love talking about wrestling. We're not doing it for money or anything like that. And the one thing that's really pissed me off is the first thing that happened to me is I kept getting messages from these supposed businesses wanting to promote my page, and said, "Oh, if you pay us, then we'll promote you." I'm like, "I'm not doing it for money. Oh, we'll offer you a discount." Piss off.
Yeah, that's obviously the sad part, obviously, the social media and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. I do it because obviously I enjoy the wrestling thing. The interview part is obviously a big part, obviously, of me. And the thing is, I mean, going back to obviously Stevie again and stuff like that, it's thanks to him that I get to interview people who wouldn't normally do interviews and stuff like that. I mean, the prime example is Rich Swift, Lana Austin. Like, I've had friends of mine going, "How did you get Lana?" I'm like, "Look, I can't do anything. Do you know what I mean? I can't say to Lana, do this podcast. You know what I mean? That's down to Lana herself." But it's just, there's so much when it goes into the community. I mean, Haney, you're obviously on social media a lot and stuff like that. You're obviously in like other chats and stuff. Do you know what I mean? You
Yeah.
get to see it as well.
Yeah, no, definitely, and it's no. It again, it comes back to like the relationships you build, and what was it called, and like Stevie Aaron and things like that. They're generally good people and good guys that again are like I said, it's unselfish and they're helping people out. You know, what was it? What was it? Try to expand British wrestling, not just trying to. But was it not just trying to sort of expand their own like empire, as you can say? You know, obviously that's great, and you wish that these people all the success in the world, because these are the genuine people out there that love wrestling for the sake of like. What was it? It's almost like you said about the podcast, James. They can't be in it all for the money, you know, because it's a hard graft wrestling, and what was it called? You know, putting on shows is not cheap. Booking wrestlers is not cheap. You know, you need to have paramedics. What was it? Or on hand for events and things. I don't know if that's the same down south. I'm guessing it is. You know, there's always somebody there in case something happens. You know, it's not cheap. You know, and they can't be making a lot of money out of it. They're doing it for the love. You know, obviously they want to make what was a success of it, and that's what you want. But the fact that they're willing to share their knowledge and share their connections as well is just amazing. You know, don't get that in many other communities.
No. Now you mentioned obviously about people seeing things like James and like not replying. I will be honest with you, you will get less replies, and this I've learned this, everyone says it. You will get less replies than the ones you send out. That's just unfortunately that's the nature of the beast.
Yeah, which, like I said, I'm absolutely fine. If I get 5 people that come on the show and I've messaged 500, then I'm absolutely fine with that. Like I say, I'm not expecting people to come onto the channel because at the end of the day, I'm not a big channel. I'm not doing this for money. I'm not doing this because I need it or all that. I'm doing it because I want to do it, because I love talking about wrestling, and I like talking about mental health, because I feel as though it's going to make the community and the world a lot better place if we start talking about mental health and things like that. Because, so, like I said, at the end of the day, if I can get 5 people on out of 50, that's absolutely fine with me. I can always either do different videos, or I can always just like go off my own back sort of thing. I could always get you on channel about 10,000 times and do about 10,000 videos.
I'm always free, mate. Do you know what I mean? I'm sure Haney will come on as well.
Exactly. Yep.
And as you expand your network, you'll find people as well that want to speak about the same sort of things, you know. And that's again, that's what's awesome about the community. You know, there's lots of good people out there.
Absolutely. So, I mean, obviously we're nearly an hour and stuff like that. I mean, obviously, do you have any goals and stuff like that when you're on the show, or is it just for you, just enjoy yourself? Do you know what I mean, and just chat wrestling?
Yeah, it's just for me to enjoy myself and chat wrestling. You know, what was it? Wrestling's quite a niche. As much as everybody, like a lot of wrestling fans, like to make out wrestling's like this big, huge, like the internet wrestling community is this big, massive thing. It's not very. It's niche. You know. What was it called? There's still people that like mock wrestling as if it's something like that's not serious and not real. You know, in the sense that people don't actually get hurt. You know, it's all choreographed. So being able to talk about wrestling is great, and that's all I really want to get out of it. You know.
Yeah.
And obviously,
James, what about you? What's your goal for your channel?
I think I've already mentioned it, to be fair. Just getting people talking about mental health, get people to realise that end of the day, wrestlers, commentators, announcers, the people in the industry are people at the end of the day. They're human beings that are allowed to have problems, because at the end of the day, we're all human, and we need to make the world a better place, because at the minute, the world is a shit place.
Yeah, I've always said, me, in a world where you can be anything, be kind, and I think it kind of leads basically corners off what you've just said there, because it is a weird place, you know what I mean? And I think social media is a big part of it.
I think if I'm honest, no matter how much good social media has done, it is one of the biggest cancers of the modern world. Social media.
100%. So what I'm going to do is, because we're 55 and I'm running out of things to say, we're going to play a little promotional videos. This is obviously for shows up and coming down the UK and stuff like that. Now, what I've done is each one's got its own little QR code. So what you can do is you can scan that QR code. That'll take you to their website and stuff like that. Go check the promotion out, because anyway, we've said in British wrestling, there's loads of promotions.
Yeah, and even if they're not local to you, and what was it? It looks like something you would enjoy. Go like it. Go watch their videos. You know, there's a lot of great promotions put up full shows for you to watch. You don't need to wait till a Monday or a Wednesday night to see like supposed wrestling. Go watch some real stuff. You know, what was it? If you want wrestling matches, go watch your local promotions, or what was it? Google the ones that are there, but definitely check them all out. You know, because what was it? We're about to lose a whole load of talent from the rumours that are going on about the raids that are going on just now in the UK scene. So, what was it? If you've not seen some of these guys, you've missed out. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. So here's the little video, and enjoy. You know, that actually feels like a lot longer than 2 minutes, right?
Yeah, it does. Jeez.
But that's even like a snippet, you know, what's in the UK and stuff like that, James. There's actually quite a lot there which you can check out, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely, mate. It's quite eye-opening when you initially look at it, because you think, oh, it's the UK, it's not exactly massive. There's going to be like 4, and then I think there's about 300.
Yeah, there's always a promotion. Even the wrestling schools, which we're going to be talking about obviously after and stuff like that. But yeah, that was just basically the purpose of today's show. Just have a nice little chilled chat. Do you know what I mean? And we're going to be recording now some watch-alongs and stuff. I'm excited for that. James, what we'll do is, as always, mate, we'll put links obviously to Wrestle Wheel being in the description of this video so people can shoot from that to this and then, stuff like that.
So, mate.
Sound. And as always, you always have a blast, right?
I always do, yes.
Saying that, babe. So, James, I'm going to let you have the final say on this. You can say anything you want and stuff like that, mate, and then we'll roll the outro. Take it away.
I'll take a snippet from here. Fuck the Young Bucks.
Yes.
Cheers for watching, guys.